If you like to talk about combat sports and you want to join the discussion, click the subscribe button below and the bell notification icon next to it and join Knucklehead Nation. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the FightersRep video podcast. I'm your host, the FightersRep, and we are here live to talk to you about Jon Jones versus Dominick Reyes. This is the post-fight reaction discussion to what was, as I suspected. My goodness, I had a bad feeling about Dominick Reyes for Johnny Bones Jones, who I consider the best still in the UFC. And I told you guys in my prediction that I'm going to go with Jon Bones Jones. I did pick him to win, but I told you guys it was 60-40. I had a bad feeling about Dominick Reyes. I felt like he would present a lot of problems for Jon Jones. And that is precisely what Dominick Reyes was able to do this evening. I mean, it looks like the consensus is that the first 3 rounds, Dominick Reyes was able to outstrike Jon Jones. Now, I think the fight was close. I'm good with the decision, but one of the scorecards was a little funky, giving the fight 4 rounds to 1 for Jon Jones. I thought that was a little bit weird. I guess that's something that can be argued for. But I really felt like Dominick Reyes put up a hell of a fight, just like I thought he would, just like I predicted. He landed some big shots on Jon Jones in this fight, and Jon Jones showed not only does he have an incredible chin, but he showed incredible heart and incredible endurance. I mean, even if you thought that Dominick Reyes was winning the majority of that fight, I think we can all agree, objectively speaking, that Jon Jones was walking him down for the entire second half of the fight. And I felt like if Dominick Reyes would have had better cardio, maybe not moved so much or spent so much energy with so much movement, perhaps, he could have come away with the victory this evening. But that's not what happened. Dominick Reyes was on the move. He was on his bike. He was countering, doing what he had to do. And, a lot of people, again, are feeling like he won the first 3 rounds. I didn't really score it per se. I was just totally enthralled with this fight. I thought it was going to be a great fight. It turned out to be a great fight. But I do think first half of the fight was more Reyes. Second half of the fight was more Jon Jones. I appreciate all of you being in the chat. It's much appreciated. We're going to get to your comments in a second, but I see a lot of people in the chat already complaining about the judges this evening, and the judges this evening were trash. I will agree with you guys on that. It looked like there were some bad decisions. One that particularly comes to mind was the Derek Lewis fight. As much as I like Derek Lewis, I didn't think he did enough to win that fight. And it's just, just shameful. So, really excited to hear what you guys say. I'm hoping that the majority of you, or at least some of you, got to see my prediction yesterday. And really, I felt like it came to fruition, with Dominick Reyes. Just the tall, big, strong, athletic guy. I mean, that's the kind of guy that's going to give Jon Jones problems, as we've seen with Gustafsson, as we saw with Thiago Santos. These are the guys that will give Jon Jones problems, guys that he can't take down and ragdoll and have his way with, guys that strike hard and will kind of keep him at bay. But again, an incredible ability of Jon Jones to just walk Dominick Reyes down, and I do believe that ring generalship really affected the outcome in this fight. Also, knuckleheads, before we get to your comments in the chat today, we did have the FightersRep 9 open workout. I thank everybody who participated. It was awesome. It was at Knockouts Boxing Gym in Southgate. As you know, if you've been watching this channel, that's the home of legendary boxing trainer Manny Robles. And it was a lot of good fun. We should have a video up related to the open workout soon. But thank you all for joining. As you know, we do this live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday immediately, or rather Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific, and immediately after all the big fights. So let's take a look in the chat and see what the heck's going on here. We've got GDog0331. What up, my brother? Hey, if you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button, the bell notification icon, and become a part of Knucklehead Nation. You'll be helping me build this channel, the only kickboxing promotion in the state of California. So he says, Jones lost that fight. Derek Lewis lost his fight as well. Look at that. You know, I was just talking about that. I did think that Derek Lewis lost the fight. As far as the Jones fight, though, you know, I thought it was very close. You know, I don't want to get into this mass hysteria and call it a robbery or whatnot, you know, but if that's your opinion, by all means, that's your opinion. This is the only combat sports channel where all opinions are welcome. But do I think it was a robbery? I don't know if it was a robbery. I don't think I would go that far. I thought it was a good fight. I thought it was a close fight. I'd like to see it happen again. Fight Life Nation, what up, my brother? He says Jones whooped him the last 2 rounds. Reyes was trying to survive, and that's what I saw. That's what I saw in the last couple rounds as well. That incredible ability of Jon Jones to just keep on going, you know, maintain that same level of output and energy. Just fantastic work by him. GDog0331 says, the judges were whacked tonight. I agree with you on that one, my brother. By the way, Posh Ice Pig, thank you for subscribing, my man, and joining Knucklehead Nation. Much appreciated. There's a lot of you in here. Hit that like button. Show some love. Give us some engagement. So Seb M and Elver Galarga, they agree with each other. They're both saying robbery. Well, you know, you can't just tell me robbery, guys. You got to tell me why you think it was a robbery. What did you see in that fight? Again, I thought it was a close fight. I don't know if I would call it a robbery. I think that's a bit much, but I thought it was a close fight. I thought it was a fun fight. I felt like I was really entertained. Let me know what you guys think. Mr. Flash U174. Oh, yeah, what up, my brother? He says, me being honest, I think Reyes won. Wow, so I'm starting to fall into the minority here. And, you know, because I don't know. I thought it was close. I always give the benefit of the doubt to the champ. I thought Reyes obviously put up a hell of a fight the first 3 rounds. I thought he did some good work in the 4th round as well. But Jon Jones, man, the guy just keeps coming. He keeps coming. He's a freaking Terminator. And that's really the takeaway I had at the end of the fight. GDog0331 says it's only a 5-round fight and Jones 1-2. Do the math. So it looks like a lot of the people in here had Reyes winning this fight. Let's see here. Mihailo Mikel, what up, my brother? He says, what's up, promoter? He says, a Reyes win, in my opinion, 39-36 is a sackable offense. So he's referring to the judge that gave it to Jones 49-46, which is a little bit crazy. But, you know, close fight. These things are subjective. Unfortunately, human error and subjectivity is always going to be a part of combat sports. And I don't agree with that card. You know, I would agree with a 3-2 card for either guy. I'm okay with. Fight Life Nation says, yes, 49-46 is ridiculous. 1 and 3 were clear for Reyes. Seb M says they wanted Jones that record. GDog0331 says that uppercut, though, my goodness, that uppercut. You know, that shows you that Jon Jones has a hell of a chin to be taking uppercuts like that, man. That was insane. That was insane. Let's see here. Mr. Flash says, but with UFC judges give takedowns away to many brownie points. Not sure what you mean there. Openda Gates says it was a robbery. Hey guys, if you haven't been here before, hit the subscribe button, the bell notification icon. It's much appreciated. It looks like a lot of you guys think that this was a robbery. Elver Galarga saying great comeback by Jones, but yeah, Reyes should have won. Seb M said Dana White, 1992, says I had it 3-2 Reyes. Doesn't good defense get rewarded too? Jones had takedowns, but Reyes got up fast. You know, that's something I agree with. I think the judges should take into consideration what's done in that takedown. And if nothing's really done, if he just takes him down and the guy pops right back up with no damage, I do think that's something that should be taken into consideration. Let's see here. So, King Twami, thank you so much for subscribing. Much appreciated, brother. Let's see here. Derek Lewis was the only one effectively striking. All Latifi did was lay on him. Well, that's true too. That's true too. In the Latifi fight. Fight Life Nation says Derek Lewis, or rather 1992 says that was round 4 and 5. Talk about the first 3 rounds, which also count. I liked and subscribed. Howie says something. No comment there. Fight Life Nation says fights are about damage. Lewis is the only one dishing it out. Unfortunately, though, they do give a lot of credit to these takedowns, even though not a lot of stuff is happening there. So, I mean, it's, it basically turns from a fight to a wrestling match in that instance. But it is what it is. Those, I guess, are the MMA rules. Eustacio Solis says, where were the scorecards? What were the scorecards again? I believe it was 3 rounds to 2 for Jones, and then 4 rounds to 1. That's the one that people had a real problem with. Howie, what's up, my brother? Hey, you can feel free to contribute without, saying that kind of stuff. 1992 says it wasn't a robbery, but let's be honest, 49-46 is not realistic. I could have seen it 3-2 either way. Personally, I had it for Reyes. Did anybody in here have it for Jon Jones? I'd be excited to hear if anybody saw that for Jones. I thought it was really close. Al Aguilera says, so you basically too pussy to call it how it is. Yes, Al, that must be it, brother. I hope that makes you feel great about yourself. Congratulations. Tavi Est, I don't know what that says John won split decision in my opinion. So it looks like Tavi agrees. He thought John won a close fight. I thought first half of the fight was for Reyes. Second half was for John. I'm not really sure. I'd have to sit down and score it in detail to kind of figure it out, but I don't think it was a robbery. Jeffrey DeRowan says, wasn't a robbery, but I did feel Reyes won. Could have gone either way. Al Aguilera says, ain't no one hitting the like button. Actually, Al, there are 8 likes right now. Thank you for your time, brother. Gamer9757 says, I love Jones, and he's my favorite fighter, but he lost. Oh, my goodness. Eustacio Solis says, felt Reyes did win. The main thing I think Jones had was control. Definitely I thought the second half of the fight he was winning. Gamer says he saw him lose 4 rounds. Gamer, I'm not sure if you're talking about Jon Jones or Reyes in that one. Please, give me some detail there. Howie, you're either going to contribute or you gotta get out this chat. I don't think this is the chat for you, my man. If you want to go, cuss people out who don't agree with you, I'm sure you can find a relationship somewhere where you can do that kind of thing. Eustacio Solis says felt Reyes did win. The main thing I think Jones had was control, and he did have, I think, control definitely in the second half of the fight. Tavi says super close fight, but John did more at the end. Martin Mercado says he won 3 of 5. How difficult was that to judge? Come on, bro. Eustacio Solis says the takedowns Jones had, Reyes popped right back up. They meant nothing. Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like to these MMA judges, it does mean something. I mean, for me, it doesn't mean much, but for these MMA judges, they're like treating these takedowns almost like knockdowns or points. It's kind of annoying. Al Aguilera says, who do you think won? I don't know. I thought it was a close fight. I didn't really sit down and score it. I thought Jones did better in the second half of the fight. And I thought Reyes did better in the first half of the fight. As you guys can see, I haven't kicked you guys out for talking shit. This chat is for anybody who's a fight fan. Everybody's opinion is accepted here. But, if you're just going to be in here talking shit, saying bad words, and not contributing, at some point we'll put you in timeout. And maybe you'll be lucky and you'll be the first or second person to ever be banned from this chat. This chat is for fight fans. This chat is not for sociopaths who don't know how to have a conversation with people. If someone disagrees with your opinion, you don't have to cry about it. We're adults here, and we're fight fans. So, just settle down and get into the conversation. Nobody wins a prize here for being right. Quest Physics says, what people don't see is that Jones made Reyes, Mr. Knockout, unimpressive. I thought Jones did really good at the second half of that fight. And Howie, it looks like your messages have been deleted by somebody that's in here working as a forum moderator, not even by me. So you're so obnoxious that somebody else is deleting your stuff, man. Just try to contain yourself, maybe have a sip of whiskey or something. Come back. We'd love your opinion as long as you can be normal. And I agree with Quest Physics. He did make Reyes look like a regular fighter, but at the same time, Reyes did the same to him. They both looked vulnerable in this fight. They both pretty much stalemated each other. So I got a lot of respect for Reyes in this fight. Mr. Flash says, I agree Jones walked Reyes down, but you can say the same thing about AJ versus Ruiz too, but AJ won. Yeah, AJ did win. But no, it's different because Ruiz wasn't landing anything. That's the difference is if you're walking somebody down, you got to land something. Ruiz was getting his ears boxed off. Randy Leiter says, but Jones lost first 3 rounds, so Reyes got jobbed. Maybe. It looks like there's some disagreement here. Jon Jones won. Reyes was on his heels the whole fight, but didn't do enough, says Dylan Fullerton. And I think that the referees, or the judges rather, probably saw Reyes backing up so much, trying to counter, and they probably thought to themselves, this guy's losing the fight as far as ring generalship goes. So, maybe that's what happened. Maybe that's what happened there. Let me see. Split decision for Jones. All right, I'm moving down because this chat is freezing up on me. So here we are. Suleiman's in here. What up, my brother? He says, if this fight was Izzy versus Yoel, but everything else the same, Izzy being Jones and Yoel being Reyes, I don't think many would say robbery. People have higher standards for Jones. Probably. Polo Just, hey, and the rest of you that are new here, thanks for joining Knucklehead Nation. We do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7 p.m. and immediately after all the big fights, we come together. This is a forum for, everybody to get together and enjoy and talk about the fight. So much appreciated. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, the bell notification icon. Let's see here. Jamaican, my brother, what's up? Says smash that like button. And Don Verga said Jones showed his age. So, some people here are starting to think that Jones is starting to, maybe get up there in age a little bit. Eustacio Solis saying Jones looked fresher in the last round, though. That's what I agree with. I actually felt like Dominick looked like he was getting tired, So Milfree, oh my God, this Milfree is back. Says you can't get rid of me. Just like to wife, I'm here for life. Mortality, lots of fun. I'll keep coming back. Why you have a mic? Dud. All right, Milfree. I think I'm gonna have to put you in timeout now, big dog. Put user in timeout. All right, when you can behave, you can come back, big dog. All right, there you go. So Nathan Turnbull says NFL players should just come over and dominate as the only elite athletes in MMA. That's interesting, and he's never even played in the NFL. He came close. Bulky Badass says people forgetting Reyes almost made the NFL. He's an elite athlete. Yeah, that's true. Who do I think won? If I'm being honest with you guys, that's a tough one for me, man. I could see it 3-2 either way. Gun in my head, I would pick Jones, man. I got to say Jones, gun in my head. But I could see the argument for Reyes for sure. Busting Cap says, wasn't round 3 the key round? Maybe. Jamaican says, can't win a fight, run it for your life. With a $2.79 from Canada donation. Thank you, my brother. Much appreciated. By the way, your boy's going to be in Canada next week. So, Giving you the heads up. James Ramsey says, I'm sorry, but that was a robbery. And it looks like a lot of people think Reyes won this fight. Jones moved forward. This is from Slaughterproof. Please hit the subscribe button, the bell notification icon if you haven't already. He says Jones moved forward rounds 3, 4, 5. Round 2 was a coin flip. 49-46 isn't unrealistic. You know, I don't think it's impossible, but me personally, I like 3-2. 480 Valley Boys, where'd you go? There he is. He says Chandler Jones from my cards in the ring. He should fight at heavyweight. That would be dope, man. That would be dope. This is great, man. Keep this up, according to Eustacio Solis, for sure, man. Reyes is the better athlete, according to Buki Badass. You know, and he probably is as far as, you know, explosiveness and things like that. But I think as far as cardio, man, you got to give Jon Jones credit. The guy just kept coming forward, man. The guy is unbelievable. He didn't look tired. I mean, if you really looked at him, he looked tired when he was getting off the stool, you know, when the camera zoomed in on him. But just the way he moves about in the ring, how patient he is, you know, he looks great, man. He looks great, and he doesn't really spend any unnecessary energy at all. So, you know, let me see. I'm going to ask you guys a question. If you think Jones won this fight, hit number 1. If you think Reyes won, hit number 2. Jones number 1, Reyes number 2. I want to see what you guys are thinking here. Nick Diaz says Reyes landed the most and significant strikes. John was getting smacked up. UFC needed John to win. King L says the takedowns helped Jones win that fight. I agree with you on that one. He mentioned that in his post-fight interview. Jones 1, 2, 4, and 5. You can't take a belt running away, according to Jamaican, and that's what I agree with my boy Jamaican on that one. Javier Villela says robbery 3 beats 2 every day. I like your math, my brother. Much appreciated. Enrique Cortez says sup with the mic. What fight were you watching? So, we got 1, we got 2, we got 3, we got 5, we got 1, we got 2. You guys are a fucking trip, bro. You guys are a fucking trip. Casual spamming too. Oh, shit. Tie. Enrique Cortez added a tie. Hey, listen, close fight. Close fight. Jose Vega saying robbery. I don't know about that, Jose. I think you might be, I think that might be a bit much to call it a robbery. You know, it was a close fight. Eustacio Solis says, LOL, Mayweather runs all the time. So, yeah, but Mayweather lands shots. Come on now. John Load says, Jones ate a bone over the phone. It explains a lot. That's interesting. Enrique Cortez says, Joey Fatone. Dallas Cowboys Nation 5 says, I don't like the saying that challengers can't beat the champion in a close fight. This seems to be the case tonight. And Don Vargas saw it as a draw. Enrique Cortez says, you look like Joey Fatone. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. I don't know if that's a compliment or what that is. Jamaica says, JJ got a chin. Got a chin, though. That's championship level fighting. I agree, man. He took that uppercut was nastier than I thought when I saw it on the replay. I was like, ooh, and he took a nice kick from Dominick Reyes in the skull as well. I mean, that was a flush kick Reyes landed on him, bro. Reyes is a bad dude, man. I'd like to see them run this shit back. I really want to see this happen again. Enrique Cortez says, fuck Mayweather. Don't you ever say fuck Mayweather. That's the greatest boxer to ever live. Bohemian Grove FI says tie rematch. I can't even catch up with you guys anymore. Blaximus Prime, thanks for joining. Hit the subscribe button, the bell notification icon. Says pressure won the fight. You got to beat the champ. Reyes was getting tired. 4 and 5. You know, I agree that 4 and 5. You know, that pressure started to break Reyes. Started to break him. Let me see here. Bohemian Grovify. I'm into that name. Draw rematch. I agree. Run this thing back. Run this thing back. Enrique Cortez says, how long is timeout? I don't even know. Hopefully long enough for you to, whoever you are, I guess, put in timeout to shut the fuck up. That's what I'm hoping for. Buki Badass says, Reyes is the future. You know, I'm excited to see how Reyes does. You know, I think he's got a lot of potential, man. And I feel like that light heavyweight division is starting to turn up a little bit. You know, Jon Jones might not have to go to heavyweight after all if these dudes keep coming out. Jackson Ogwindi says, Mayweather is a genius. I agree, Jackson. Thank you so much for being on my side, brother. Enrique Cortez disagrees. Nathan Turnbull says, Conor would have beat Mayweather if it had gone on any longer. You guys are tripping, man. Let me see here. Enrique Cortez says, mortality many forma. What does that mean, bro? Sonic Boom says, more of a knock-off balance more than a significant knockdown. That's true. That's true. Javier Viela says, what were total strikes for each? You know, I'm not even sure. We gotta go back and look at that. I do know that they had Reyes up in strikes landed for the first 3 rounds, and then they had Jones up in the second rounds, the 4th and 5th, basically. Enrique Cortez timed out by Fight Life Nation for 300 seconds. Tisk. Come back when you can behave, brother. Busting Cap says, if Reyes gets a rematch, that would be bad for Reyes. Jones is more dangerous in rematches. Well, I mean, who's to say Reyes isn't, right? I mean, maybe Reyes, does something different the next time around and does a better job. Putting you in timeout again, Howie, just because, I didn't like the way you were behaving the last time you were in here. Fight Life Nation says, I think the same guy just keeps coming back to spam with different accounts. All right, well, just ban him, dude. Remove him. Remove him if you can. Buki Badass says, Reyes won the takedown battle. His defense was too good. Well, I don't know if he won the takedown battle. I mean, he got taken down, so I don't know how, he won the takedown battle, my guy. He didn't win the takedown battle. Winning the takedown battle is you taking the guy down and, more times than he took you down. So, so I don't think he won the takedown battle, but I see what you're saying. Eustacio Solis says Reyes 119 to Jones 107. Vladimir Kraft says, hey everyone, amazing fight, corrupted decision. Vladimir agrees with a lot of people in here. Thinks Reyes won the fight. Vladimir, I'd love to hear your opinion on that and why you think that's the case. Chris V. Noir says, there's only one way to take the belt away from a champion. You have to take the belt. You can't just survive a fight. And Chris, I agree with that point. I felt like definitely Reyes was just surviving in the latter half of that fight, man. It was a real shame because he was setting such a great pace in the first part of the fight. But, I guess that pace came back to haunt him in the second half. Mark Sabilo Valgañon says 49-46. This is number one bullshit. Thank you for being on the chat, brothers. Hit subscribe and the bell notification icon to join us. We do this Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific. And after all the big fights, boxing or MMA, we're here to talk to you guys about the fights and talk to each other if you don't want to talk to me. So appreciate you joining. But I agree that card was a little bit too wide for my liking. Daniel Aon said Johnny Stone Jones won 2 of 5. Buki Badass says you got to give more credit to the defense. Ames MP says Reyes mitigated any takedown score advantage with his impressive takedown defense for me. 1 Reyes, 2 coin toss, 3 Reyes, 4 Jones. Reyes on serious damage at the start of round 4, 5 Jones. Close? Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on Ames. I'm with you, man. I think it was very close. KM, I think Jon won the fight with his control and stamina. Man, his stamina really is fantastic. I mean, the guy is a special talent, and so is Reyes. So is Reyes, because he was doing a lot of moving in there, and he was almost able to keep it up at the same pace for 5 rounds. But Jon Jones really kept that pace for 5 rounds without there being any sort of, crash in his stamina or anything. I mean, the guy just went and went and went. Worthy as my name says, Reyes got out of the takedowns and got up. That doesn't count for anything. I mean, I'm sure it counts for something, but, I think you're still on the receiving end of a takedown. So obviously, even if it counts for something, it's not as valuable as being the person who actually initiated the takedown. So, let's say the only thing that happened in the round was Jon Jones took Reyes down and Reyes got back up right away. Who won the round? You got to give it to Jones, right? Miguel Gonzalez says, I don't know MMA rules. Do takedowns deduct a point each time like boxing? Better than MMA anyway. It's something like that, Miguel. A lot of these judges will give a lot of credit for takedowns even when there's no damage done. Jackie Hale says, giving Jones the win is better for business. Rematch equals more viewers plus bigger pay-per-view numbers. And I think you might be right about that, Jackie Hale. Very nice little business savvy comment you got there, Jackie Hale. Luis Diaz says, he did got up from those takedowns and took no damage from them. Right, Luis? But what I'm saying is the guy who got the takedown is going to get more points than the guy who got up from it, right? Because you shouldn't have gotten taken down in the first place is what these judges are thinking. Jamaican says, if you want to know who really wins a fight, just think of it as in if they would have fought to the death, who would have won. Okay. Boxing Eagle says, what up, new media? We work in the black channel. What? Boxing Eagle, thanks for joining, my brother. I don't know if that's even you, but if it is you, I appreciate you being in here. Buki Badass says, Reyes definitely won the fight. The point system is flawed. I thought it was a close fight. I wouldn't say anybody definitely won that fight. At the end of the day, I would pick Jones to have won that fight. Randy Leiter says, Jones blocked all those Reyes punches with his face. Bro, Jones has a big-ass head and a big-ass face. Man, that's one thing I noticed. Him and Reyes were the same height. But my goodness, that head on Jon Jones is like the fucking Easter Island statues, man. That's a big-ass head, man. All Natural Sing says, man, stamina is not a factor for winning. Hitting the opponent is. Dropping the opponent is. Takedown attempts do not matter. I'm sorry. Takedown and holding hitting counts. All Natural Sing, appreciate your opinion. Hit that subscribe button, the bell notification icon, man. We appreciate your contribution. Remag Gamer says, why are people saying rip Joe Rogan? I don't know. What's that about? What the fuck was the noise earlier? What was the ringing noise? Black China. Okay. I can't keep up with you guys. I'm moving down a bit. Miguel Gonzalez says, so if Reyes is taken down, 2 or 3 times, is that a 10-8, 10-7, or simply 10-9 for Jones? I think it depends. How much damage is done. If it's a slam, I mean, each judge is going to take it differently. So it's a real subjective thing, man. It's a real subjective thing. Before I continue, you guys, I appreciate you guys being on the chat. Subscribe if you haven't already. This is FightersRep, the channel. We're also a kickboxing promotion, the only pro kickboxing promotion in the entire state of California. I got some of the best talent, I believe, in the world and the best rule set. So by being on this channel, subscribing, donating to the super chat, or buying a t-shirt, a FightersRep shirt in the links below, all of it would get reinvested right back into the promotion and giving these young warriors a venue to compete in. So I appreciate you guys being in here. You guys are awesome. So let's see here. Kai Godson says, Reyes clearly won. I'm so disappointed in the UFC, man. I'm sorry to hear that, Kai Godson. But it's not really the UFC's fault. Remember, the UFC pays commissions run by the state to come in and judge. It's the state that regulates these fights. They're the ones, and I know this because I'm a promoter myself, and I use the California State Athletic Commission. They're the ones that come in and, as state regulators basically, and send you the judges, send you the officials, and that's how it happens. So yeah. One moment. One moment, you guys. Something's wrong with this chat here. Okay, we're back. So Tom the Driver says Reyes won first round 10-8 with a clear knockdown. Won second and third, in my opinion. Perhaps. Worthy is my name, so escaping takedowns don't count. Well, I mean, I'm sure it counts, but again, I don't think it counts as much as being the guy who got the takedown, Claren Canati, appreciate you joining the chat. He says, wanted Jones to win, but if the roles were reversed, I feel as though they would have given it to Jones. Big deal to strip a champion, especially via decision, and you might be right about that. Javier Viella says, if it's 119 strikes to 106, which one had which? I believe the 119 was probably Reyes. But remember, these fights aren't adjudicated by the overall fight. They're judged round by round. And, if Reyes maybe landed a ton of more strikes in the first round and won that round, even if Jones, maybe lands a couple more strikes in the other rounds, he wins those rounds. So, I mean, you can't really just look at the total strikes and say this guy won. You got to look at it round by round. That's the way these fights work. Randy Leiter says, Jones is no Manny Pacquiao. He certainly isn't. Jones' weakness, if you want to call it that, is his boxing. And a guy like Reyes will expose that every time. Let me see here. One moment, you guys. So, Vlad, because some punches and kicks are worth... Anyway, Eustacio Solis with the $2 donation. Much appreciated, my brother. Really appreciate that. Your generosity, you guys, is always appreciated on the channel. Also, be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at FightersRep. It's much appreciated. Sonic Boom says Jones landed slightly more than half of his total strikes. Reyes landed somewhere close to a third of his total strikes. Awesome fight, but now I believe Izzy has a great chance against Jones. Wow. The only issue I have with Izzy is that, he's a smaller frame. I don't know if he's going to be able to deal with someone as big and someone that's going to crowd him the way Jones does. Because let's not forget, I mean, even when Izzy was in glory, when he fought, I believe it was Jason Wilness, and, it was, I guess, a controversial fight, but even Wilness was able to crowd him and walk him down. I mean, what's a big monster of a man like Jon Jones going to do to a guy like Izzy, who's a lot more slight? I think he's a lot more slight than Jon Jones, and he's going to get walked down. And that's why I don't like that fight for Izzy. I applaud him for wanting that fight, but that's a different frame. That's a different body type, and he could win that fight with his striking. He could, but, I think he's going to have a lot of problems if Jones walks him down the way he was walking Reyes down tonight. Zeus 1 says, round by round, Reyes clearly won 1-3. John Wick says, what's up with the judges tonight? I don't know, man. They were all fucked up, man. These judges were weird tonight. Even the broadcasters were annoyed with it. Let me see here. Paul Albert Antonio says Dominick Reyes, round 1-3, 3 points. Jon Jones, round 4-5, 4 points. So, everybody seems to have their own opinion here, Let's see here. Okay. Jackson Ogwindi says, Izzy is too small a frame, no doubt. You know, Jackson kind of agrees with me. And John Wick says, or Miguel Gonzalez asks, who do you think won, Reyes or Jones? You know, I got to go with Jones, man. I'm just, you know, I think Jones was walking him down. I think Reyes was barely surviving in the second half of that fight. So I got to give it to Jones. I thought it was really close. I can see an argument either way, but I got to go with Jones. John Wick says Shevchenko dominated. Dude, Shevchenko's on another level. That lady's on another level, man. I would pay money just to come watch Shevchenko. I must say, you know, it's incredible what the UFC's done with their female talent. And what they've done with Shevchenko, and Shevchenko is a freaking specimen, man. Physically, mentally, technically, everything about that person is just fantastic. I don't know. If you think Shevchenko is a specimen, hit that one. Let me see the number one. If you think she's just, you know, an everyday, regular old Kyrgyzstani, then hit two. But I think she's special. Kai Godson says judges were all crackheads. John Wick says, who will Jones fight next? Who knows? Maybe they make him rematch the homie. Maybe they bring out Izzy. If he beats Yoel Romero, who knows what happens. Worthy is my name, says, I don't know, man. I feel that Reyes won. Clearly, I'm not the only one. I mean, if it's a big issue, something's up. You know, you're definitely not the only one. A lot of people think Reyes won. You know, maybe I'm the one in the wrong. That's fine. I'm cool with being the one in the wrong, man. But I got to call it how I see it. And I felt like Jones definitely took over the second half of that fight. A hot boy whipping it says Reyes not def won that fight. Carlos Gonzalez. By the way, hot boy Carlos, all you guys that are new in here, hit that subscribe button, the bell notification icon, and join us whenever we do this after the big fights and Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. And it looks like everybody thinks that Shevchenko is a really special person, man. She is a specimen. I got a lot of ones in here. Christian Hurlbert says, I think that the third round was really close. You know, I thought a lot of the rounds were pretty close. Joe Rogan's in here. Holy shit. Joe Rogan says, only people saying John won are black racists that voted for Obama. 40% of Jones' strikes were dinky leg kicks. Check stats. He got outboxed in body and head strikes. Thank you, Joe, you know, for taking that time out of your busy schedule. You were just, you know, on air. You're probably still on air, but I appreciate you jumping in here and saying what you said there, champ. Let's see here. Guys, Enrique Cortez is still in here talking. Enrique, man, you are obsessed with me, my boy. You are obsessed, big dog. Man, I know I'm handsome. My mom told me that growing up, but I ain't never in my life had a YouTube stalker before. So I just want to tell you thank you. You know, I'm really flattered that you got to keep coming in here and writing all this nonsense because you just want to see my face. So thank you, my man. You know, I appreciate you. And, you know, if you want to send me flowers or whatever, you could do that. It's all good, brother. Thank you. Miguel Gonzalez says, off topic, but in boxing, 154 pounds through 168-pound division, what current fighter beats Canelo? You know, not many. Not many. I mean, I could see, I believe at 168, Callum Smith could do it, but he looked like shit in his last fight. I do think who else? I think Andrade could give Canelo a hard time. I don't know if he beats him because he hasn't been that active. But I think an active Andrade could beat Canelo. Could. It's definitely a possibility. So, I don't know. Those are the only guys I could really think of. I don't think anybody else can beat Canelo between those weight categories. At least nobody's, you know, popping off the top of my head right now. Bohemian Grovify says, let's say Reyes was the rightful win. What about Volkan? Volkan won every round against Reyes, and they gave it to Reyes for no reason. That means they got to get Ozdemir in there against Jones, brother. Let's see here. Jackson Ogwindi says Andrade can beat Canelo, but El Californio El Mariachi, thank you so much for joining the chat, my brother. He says Jones lost the fight. And you know, a lot of people agree with you in here. El Californio El Mariachi. I hope you subscribe, hit the bell notification icon. John Wick says, I agree, Volkan beat Reyes, and they gave Reyes the win. A lot of people thought Volkan won that fight. I also thought, excuse me, I also thought Volkan Ozdemir won that fight against Reyes. But, you know, it is what it is with this judging, you guys. It is what it is against judging. I always tell people, if you want to see a change in the fight game, these judges, you know, you just apply. If you think you could do a better job judging, just apply, jump in there and start judging. That's all it is. And they get paid and they get the best seat in the house. So if you love fighting, that's the way you should do it. Mike Dixon says Jones lost. Romanian Mike, he agrees that Jones lost. So all the Mikes from the United States to all the way to Romania, they all agree that Jon Jones lost. Appreciate you guys being here. Hit that subscribe button, the bell notification icon next to it. Romanian Mike says he had it 3-2 for Reyes. You know, I'm wondering, did you guys have the first 3 rounds for Reyes? Is that what you guys did? I don't know. That's what it looks like for Mike Dixon. And Romanian Mike seems to agree. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of people have Reyes winning the first 3 rounds of that fight. If he could have just kept his stamina, he could have got that win, I think, man. But I think the second half of that fight, he started to break down. Quincy L says, did Reyes give out the blueprint to beat Jon Jones? You know, I think him and Thiago Santos did. You know, I think a good striker who, you know, can hit hard enough to keep Jones honest and prevent getting taken down can beat Jones in a decision. I don't know if anybody can hurt him, though. I don't know if I've even seen the guy rocked. I mean, the guy's got a tremendous chin. So, you know, there you go. Romanian Mike has subscribed. Much appreciated, brother. Quincy, tell me what you think, man. Tell me what you think about the blueprint situation. Eustacio Solis, by the way, Romanian, thanks for subscribing, brother. Eustacio Solis says, off topic, bad 2 days. First, the bizarre blown clear goaltending call, and now Reyes. Mr. Flash Love says, yep, 3-2. A lot of people had Jon Jones losing the first 3 rounds of this fight. Triple threat. Says Jones lost. Let's be honest. John Wick, John Wick says, well, really, if you don't want to leave it to the judges, do your best to end the fight by knockout or sub, or just let a computer pick the winner. Randy Leiter says the champ is going to get the nod in a close fight, but those judges remind me of judges for Floyd in Vegas. No way to win unless you KO him. Alejandro Arellano is asking, ¿Quién ganó? Jon Jones ganó, Alejandro. Jon Jones ganó por decisión unánimo. The unanimous decision. Pero fue una pelea bien cerca y una pelea buena. Hamidi Brutel says John lost. So it looks like a lot of people think that Jon Jones lost his fight, man. Would anybody out there be okay with a draw? Tom the driver asks. Any of you are okay with this, being a draw? Romanian Mike says Jones is the face of MMA, kind of like Canelo. Hard to lose. Cesar Guillen, thank you so much for joining the Knucklehead Nation, brother. Subscribing and joining Knucklehead Nation. Guys, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, the bell notification icon. We do this Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific and live after all the big fights. Looks like some people are okay with a draw. We've got Jay Prodigy saying John won 2, 4, and 5. I mean, so look at the subjectivity of this. We've got, some people thinking Jon Jones won the first or lost the first 3 rounds. Now we've got Jay Prodigy saying Jon Jones won the second round. It's nonstop. Look, even Jackson Ogwindi agrees. He thinks Jon won the second round. Jay Protege says, Jon 245, you fucks don't disrespect the GOAT. Everybody spam Jon 245. Jay, we don't need no spamming, my brother. I agree with Jon winning the fight. Please save me from any more spamming, man. It's much appreciated. Big shout out, big bless up to my boy Jamaican who says, keep up the good work. Bless up with the donation. Of course, anything you guys donate ever to this chat or this channel gets reinvested right back into the only kickboxing promotion in the state of California. That's me, that's us, that's FightersRep. Thank you guys for helping me build this channel. You're also helping me build the promotion. February 28th, if you're anywhere near Southern California, get your tickets to FightersRep 9. We've got 16 fights on tap, hopefully. You get the tickets at FightersRep.com. If you're too far from Southern California, you can watch it live and free right here on YouTube. I guarantee you guys you won't see a better rule set than the FightersRep Unified Rules Kickboxing rule set. Let's see here. Asim M. Kashmiri says, Jon Jones lost the fight. Oh, man, a lot of people seem to agree with that. Triple Threat says, I believe Anderson Silva is the greatest ever, but Jones is very good. I could settle with a draw, but I think Reyes won. Wow, okay. And Romanian Mike believes that the rematch would be well-deserved, and I agree with you, Romanian Mike. I think that we do need a rematch for this fight. This was a close fight. Jackson Ogwindi says, people hate champs like Canelo, Floyd, and Jones. It's human nature. Sadly, it really is. Grand Carl says, is it really fair to score this fight 49-46? Grand Carl, I don't think so. I thought that was, an extremely wide card, and I disagree with it. But thank you for joining, Knucklehead Nation. If you really want to join, hit that subscribe button, the bell notification icon next to it. John Wick says, I'm going to go watch the Jones fight, second round. Be right back with official decision. Jamaican says, the problem is most MMA fans don't know how to score a fight. Even though the judges were crooked tonight, I thought JJ won, and I agree with you on that one. Jay Protege says, oh, no, Jon ain't 4 rounds. That scorecard was bullshit. Ain't win 4 rounds. I agree he didn't win 4 rounds, but I could have seen it 3-2 either way. I just prefer it 3-2 for Jones because I thought, he controlled the fight, especially in the second half of the fight. Santino Freco says, been a Jones fan since 2009, but Reyes really got robbed. My goodness. Darth Malga says, and the hypocrite judges said Latifi did nothing with his takedown. What did Jon Jones do? That is a problem. I mean, it was inconsistent. You know what they would tell you, Darth Malgus? They would tell you, well, if you guys hadn't yelled at us for the Latifi fight, then we wouldn't have gone the way we went for the Jones fight. So it's all our fault at the end of the day. Santino Freco says, Jones is really washed up. Santino, whoa, Santino, hit the brakes, my brother. Hit the brakes, my brother. Jon Jones is nowhere near washed up. To win a close decision against the second best guy in your division and be the most dominant lightweight in the history, or light heavyweight in the history of the UFC, and be basically 26-0 is nowhere near being washed up, brother. Jay Protege said, I'm out here spamming Jon 245, but whoever thinks Jon won 4 rounds be on some bullshit. Mohit Himthani says, yes, we do hate champions like Jones who are genetic freaks on PEDs. Oh, he came back with that one. Eustacio Solis says, hey, man, thanks again. Keep the good work. See you next time. Thank you for joining us, Eustacio. I really appreciate you, my man. And Romanian Mike says he gave Reyes the first 3 rounds. Triple Threat says, you got to give it to Jon Jones. He hasn't lost in the past 18 fights. You have to respect that. Hamida Brutel says, it's like Jones versus Gustafsson. Let me see here. Quincy L. Reyes was never in trouble. Yeah, but he was getting walked down, man. He was getting walked down. He looked like he was way more tired than Jones. Jones looked fresh in the second half of that fight, and Reyes didn't to me. Jamaican is saying Jones was blocking most of the shots with his hand. And then Jay Prodigy is laughing that somebody said Reyes was never in trouble. You clearly ain't see the 5th round. Jon literally was never in trouble. I agree. I mean, I think Jon was much more comfortable in this fight than Dominick Reyes was. I felt like Dominick Reyes in the second half of this fight was basically in survival mode, man. He really was in survival mode. But that being said, he did give a good accounting of himself throughout the first 3 rounds of this fight. Even in the 4th round, he did some good work. And I do want to see a rematch, like GZJ says. That was a fun fight. And this should be, run back. This should be run back. What other fight did you guys enjoy on this card? I really enjoyed watching Shevchenko. I must say that spinning back kick she did that landed on Chukagian was really loud and impressive. It sounded like a foot pimp slapping somebody in the face, and I just, man, I was really impressed by it. Grant Carl says, what scoring changes would you make that could have made the fight lean toward Reyes? None really. I mean, I thought Jones won the fight. I thought it was a close fight, very close. But I thought Jones won the fight, man. He looked much more comfortable to me. I think if you saw Reyes winning that fight, my opinion, of course, I could be wrong. You're looking for any sort of chinks in Jon Jones' armor. He was walking forward, man. He was walking forward. He was landing shots in the second half of the fight. First half of the fight, sure, he wasn't doing that great. But I thought in the second half of the fight, he did a good job, man. And he was just walking Reyes down. So, I mean, I see that sort of ring generalship, that sort of body language, and I start leaning hard towards the guy that's moving forward. That was one of Jon's most entertaining performances, according to Jay Prodigy. I agree with that. Mohit says Jon was getting beat up while he was retreating in the first 3 rounds. And you may be right about that. Miguel Gonzalez says, fresh. Jones couldn't take out the tired Reyes, though. Don't look good on Jones's part. Busting Cap says, it is just that 3rd round that is questionable. How do you go strong 1-2 rounds, then start to fade in the 3rd? Then Reyes gets walked down the last rounds. Jones took the Reyes shots. Yeah, and I think because Reyes employs so much movement, that it's just physically impossible for him to keep that movement up 4 or 5 rounds, and that's what happened in this fight. Randy Light. Also, Reyes is not used to guys lasting this long against him. He's used to knocking people out, and he had to go the full 5 rounds today. Randy Leiter says Thiago Santos' fight should have been a draw at best for Jones. That whelp on Jones' leg from Santos' kicks was real, but again, you're not going to get a decision against Jones, and you might be right about that. Quincy L says he was just tired, didn't take no real damage. Tom, the driver, says Jones was literally running away in the first 3 rounds. Then he walked Reyes down the last 2 rounds. I had Reyes for the win. Excellent fight. It was an excellent fight. Romanian Mike, that was Jon's worst performance in MMA. Quincy L says this isn't boxing. You can't judge it like that. Actually, Quincy L, I think you can judge it like that. I think you judge it by looking at the guy's body language. If one's moving forward and landing shots and the other's retreating the whole time and landing shots but looks like he's really panicking and staggered, then, I'm going to go with the guy that's moving forward. I saw Jones win in the second half of that fight. So I think you do judge it like that. I think ring generalship matters in MMA. I think takedowns matter too, unfortunately, whether we like them or not. That's just the way it is. So, yeah, I mean, I think I can judge it like that if I'm being honest with you. Jay Prodigy says Reyes was getting walked down even in the second round. Go rewatch it, y'all. Facts, FightersRep, says Romanian Mike. Hey, finally somebody agrees with me on here. And David Ruiz said Reyes the champ, throwing up a trophy for him. Reyes didn't win round 2 according to Jay. I got to go back and watch it again, give you guys a proper score. But I thought personally that Jon Jones won a very, very close fight, contested fight. Again, I thought Jones, first half of the fight, was losing, came back second half of the fight, walked Reyes down. I thought Reyes was just surviving, especially in the fifth round, man. Jones really dominated that fifth round. Fourth round, I still thought Reyes was doing some sort of work, fighting back a little bit. But Jones really, really dominated that fifth round. So, knuckleheads, we've been on here an entire hour. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, the bell notification icon. That way you know when we're on here. We do this Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific. We talk about something going on in the fight game live, just like this. We exchange. We have this forum. And we do it immediately after all the big fights, whether it's boxing or MMA. And, of course, you get to watch our fights for free on this channel, as well as great interviews. We just had one with Manny Robles that's at like 120,000 views. So definitely check out our fights. We've also got live fights coming for FightersRep 9 on the 28th. We are the only kickboxing promotion in the entire state of California. So we appreciate your help, your donations. Buy a shirt, a FightersRep shirt in the link below or whatever. And, you know, we do this all the time, so much appreciated. I'm about to sign out in a minute here. I'm going to read a couple more comments and sign out. We've been on here over an hour now. Feng Li says, before the decision, Joe Rogan said something similar to this. We have weird decisions tonight. Is expected, unexpected decision, clearly rigged. Appreciate the comment, Fenley. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Knuckleheads, like I said, over an hour on here tonight. Your boy's birthday's tomorrow. I'm going to be celebrating the birthday tomorrow. So, you know, gonna get some Cuban food. Gonna enjoy my day. It's going to be fantastic. I will see you guys again on Monday. Join me on Monday. Keep doing this, guys. This is a forum where we can all come and talk about the fights. We'll talk about this fight. We'll talk about upcoming fights, and it'll be a good time. Errol Spence versus Crawford, man. You already know I got Crawford. Big Daddy to damn Dominick outboxed Jones clean. First 3 rounds for Reyes, last 2 rounds for Jones. Got takedowns. Reyes wasn't active, by the way. I'm a Jones fan. Anyway, you guys, much love to you guys. You know, I got to get off now. It's been over an hour. I'm exhausted. Had a long day. We had our open workout for FightersRep 9 today. But appreciate you guys. Join me, man. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You know, we're getting a good channel going here. This is the only non-racist, non-biased, everybody opinions accepted combat sports channel. And you know it. So, you know, much appreciated to you guys for being on here. Much love to you guys. Until Monday, keep it clean. I'm the FightersRep, and I'm out. You guys be safe tonight.